and my mother was one of the prisoners ransomed. And my mother and a lot of her sister and her aunts and her cousins were put in the third lager for awaiting to be processed and where to be taken. And so they were there for 3 months. My mother and my sister, and they had an aunt who was around the same age. They were basically a trio, and so they were, in August, they were seeing that things were going downhill. They were starving and they were thirsty and they saw the disease around. They said, we have to volunteer. So in August of 1944, they volunteered and they were taken to an Air Force base in Luftwaffe base near Frankfurt, where the women prisoners were used in order to go out during the bombings and repair and after the bombings to repair the runways so that the planes could take off. And so quite a few of the women were killed during the work. And but then in November 1944, the Allied forces were approaching Frankfurt, so they had to evacuate them. They were taken to another work camp, and then finally to Ravensbrück, which was the women's prisoner camp, which had prisoners from all denominations, from just political prisoners and ideological prisoners. And so they were taken there in May of 1945, or April, I don't know exactly when. The Swedish Red Cross was able to ransom a good certain prisoners from that. And my mother was one of the prisoners ransomed. They were taken by the white buses, which we saw the other day, about the white buses to the German coast, and from there they were transferred to Sweden. My mother and her sister and her aunt were there for about a year, and then when they had rehabilitated a little bit, they were allowed to join their family.